I would say, wouldn't it be great and consistent if she was as impassioned about the memorial to Marcus Rashford as she was for pro-slavery statues? I really think she should have given the same 10 years legislation she wanted to push for these historical figure statues. Why is she not pulling out those army tanks to come for?
Well, there's no army tanks. Steady on. There's no army tanks.
But you know what I mean.
Come on,
but
I do.
Why was she not going full blazes for this kind of disgraceful act towards somebody who loves this country just as much as those people did and has done something for this country in terms of uniting people?
He does love his country, and he also has put some real sort of concrete action on that, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you said earlier in your introduction when you said, she herself is a person of colour and she herself was a refugee.
No, she wasn't a refugee. She was born here. Her parents were immigrants. Yeah.
But I mean, and on that basis, I remember once you recommended the interview that she did with Global with Nimco Ali. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not a fan of either of them. However, on your recommendation, when you gave her a little shout out on your show, I listened to it because, Nimco argues she herself has experienced racism and and just to see a more human side of her. However, I would like to say, would it be unreasonable to assume, given her Asian experience, her family's Asian experience in Uganda, that maybe she grew up in a household where there was resentment towards other ethnic minorities because of the way she was treated?
I've no idea.
They were treated?
I've no idea.
I would love to ask her, because I really don't understand how a person of colour holds the views that she seems to put out there. And I mean, I know that she herself should be attuned, much like people who are Jewish can hear the anti-Semitism because they're attuned to it. She herself should be attuned to what dog whistle racism, because it affects people that look like her.
But hang on, Simon. It's also, it's borderline racist to say because of the colour of somebody's skin, they should think a particular thing and communicate in a particular way. So just be careful along those lines.
Well, no, but I mean, I think I myself as a person of colour think that I would have, okay, you're right. I assumed that other people of colour were mindful of the things that they say and put out there, because
but they may disagree. But they may. I understand why you're saying what you're saying, but the nuance of it is that people may still look at it of the same colour as you, may still look at a situation and differ with you about it, and put their emphasis somewhere else where you wouldn't put it. It doesn't mean they are rejecting their skin colour or their heritage. It means they disagree with you. They're allowed to disagree with you.
Yeah, 100%. But I don't think there should be any disagreement against anti-racism. I don't think there should be any disagreement.
She says there isn't. She absolutely is against racism, and she challenged...
Is she though?
She says she's absolutely against racism. She said in the House of Commons, when a Labour MP suggested that she was racist herself, she stood at the dispatch box and said, in a very sort of contained anger, I thought, when I watched it, nobody can give me lessons about racism in here, because I was that girl in the playground being picked on for the colour of my skin. So don't tell me I'm a racist, essentially was her message. So yes, she absolutely insists she's anti-racist.
I don't know then, in that regard. I mean,
you don't believe her, but that's what she says.
Well, but the minute what someone says and what someone does, and what the views that she espouses and the policies that she puts out there seem to have no... to me, it's the equivalent of being an anti-woman or being an anti-LGBT gay person or being an anti-trans person. To me, I see her as being anti...
Look, all right, calm down. You said I get it at the beginning. Here's what I'm getting from you, Simon. There are lots of women in the world, and I disagree with loads of them. How about that? How about that? I disagree with... that's fine. It's okay. I disagree...
But to have somebody... But you know those women who actually go completely over the top in terms of condemning feminism and saying it's not about being, radical women, rather than just seeing things for how they were. I really think Priti Patel and people in that party who are people of colour who've got into positions of power seem to have gone more extreme than any person of non-colour could have ever gone, just on the basis that they can then rebut everything that you say by saying I'm not racist. Priti Patel, I would argue, has done nothing for people of colour. Not that she should be our spokesperson, or she is an elected official for everybody, but I don't think she's benefited any cause for anybody of colour, and I don't think she particularly.
But equally, Simon, she's not required to, is she? In her whole life, I mean, she's not required to do particular things. In her role as Home Secretary, she's required to do particular things, but she gets to choose how she lives her life. Because she is a particular colour or from a particular heritage, she doesn't have to take on a cause that you think fits that look, fits that heritage, fits that colour. I mean, that's the truth of it, and there's nothing to attack anybody about that for, I wouldn't think. But anyway, Simon, it's been great to listen to you. I do think you need to calm down a bit for your own health. But thank you. I hope that's not. I didn't mean that patronisingly. I meant it in a caring way. Thank you, Simon.